Welcome to day 3 of the 10 days to get Skyboat Song Bagpipe ready. My name's Alec from Get Bagpipe Ready. If you're liking Skyboat Song, if you're liking learning more tunes on the Bagpipe Chanter, hit like beside this video. And if you're a beginner piper or you're looking to keep having fun learning the bagpipes or learning more tunes on the bagpipes, you may want to check out my free Get Bagpipe Ready Facebook group. The link to join that group is in the video description below. And now in day 3, we're, like day 1 and 2, we're tackling a small little phrase. We're doing chunk by chunk with Skyboat Song. And in our next lesson in day 4, we're going to string some of these chunks together, and you're going to be surprised how much of the tune you already have. But in this lesson, we are going to do that small chunk again. So we're going to start this one on the D. There we go, that's what we're doing. So that's what it's going to sound like with the non-embellished version. And again, I will show you what the embellished version is, and I'll walk through. There's actually 2 grace notes that you need to worry about in this little phrase. But first, the non-embellished version. So we're on the D, and we've done the D before. Our pinky finger is down on the bottom hand, which is our right hand. Top hand is the left hand. All the holes are covered, including that thumb hole on the back. So we're on the D. From the D, we're going to transition up to E. And if you're a complete beginner, this is one of the tougher transitions out there. So don't get discouraged. Just give yourself a bit of grace with this one. This is a toughie. So your fingers will get it eventually. But what's going to happen is all 3 fingers that are up on the bottom hand are going to come down on the chanter. At the same time, that pinky of the bottom hand is going to lift up off the chanter. And at the same time, that ring finger of the top hand is going to lift up off the chanter. So that's a very busy transition. Lots of fingers are moving. So that's that transition. If it's completely new to you, it's worth spending some time just on that alone. But what we're adding in after that transition is a lot simpler. We're just going up 1 note, so we're lifting the middle finger of the top hand, and then we're dropping that finger again. And during that whole time, our bottom hand doesn't move. The pinky is up, it's in the low A position, it doesn't move. So that's a lot easier than the first transition. But if you get that, you can easily tack on this one on the end. And kind of like that day 1, that first E, it's a little bit longer. In day 1 it was low A's, now it's E's. Dun, dun, dun. So that first one's a little bit longer. Listen and you'll hear. So that's what I want you to work on. If you're not doing embellishments, that transition is going to be a big enough challenge alone. But keep at it, you're going to get it. If you're getting frustrated, if you feel like you need more supports, if you want to keep this instrument fun as you're working on these challenges, check out my Facebook group. It's free to join, the link's in the video description below. And if you're waiting around for learning embellishments, now's the time. We're going to, there's just 2 G grace notes here, so it's a lot easier than our last day when we were working on the D throw. So these G grace notes, I'll show you where they're added in. So both G grace notes happen when we are, going to each of those E's. So the first one, we're going from D to E. We're going to get there with a G grace note. And as we talked about earlier in this video, that's a busy transition. Now we're throwing in a grace note on top of that. So this can be, if you have the transition down pat, great, let's tackle the grace note. If your transition is a little bit suspect, I wouldn't even worry about that grace note yet. So assuming your transition is good, Now the G grace note, that top finger of the top hand, it has to lift, and then we switch all our fingers around, and then it comes down. So it's the first finger to lift and the last one to come down through that whole mess. And because this is such a busy transition to throw in that grace note, it's good to just slow it right down and put it in slow motion. Just to get your brain to wire into your fingers what's actually happening down there. It doesn't sound like anything, but that slow motion will help sort out that, oh yeah, it gives the brain the challenge that, okay, this finger is the last to come down, and that's what we want to happen. And then you can work on playing it a little bit quicker. And it helps to try to make that grace note, you know, nice and big, nice and long. If you try to speed it and get it too quick, your other fingers just aren't transitioning in time. So that's the toughie. The second grace note is a whole bunch easier. So what we did there, we're on the E, we go up to F, and then we're just going to drop right down to E again. But we get there with that G grace note as well. So here, that G grace note, it's again the first finger to lift and the last finger to come on, but essentially what we're doing is we're just lifting that top finger and both fingers are coming on at the same time. So we're on the F. That's kind of what we're doing in slow motion. Okay, so that second grace note, again, we're already on the E, we go up to the F, and then we do the grace note down to the E. Okay, so that's the second grace note, a lot easier than that first grace note, but I'll play them both together here for you. And again, here's the version if you're not adding in the grace notes. And with the grace notes. Okay, so good luck with day 3. This has been so much fun doing Skyboat Song with you. If you'd like to get more help and support from me, join my free Facebook group. It's in the video description below. If you're liking these lessons, just hit the thumbs up beside this video. And I hope to see you in day 4 so we can keep on our journey of getting Skyboat Song Bagpipe ready. Bye for now, and happy piping!